nearly 200 drivers. You've been with the Stars Series from the jump. The crew's been about the same from the jump. How was the weekend in your eyes here, pulling off such a big jump in total turnout?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not sure it could have went much better, kind of given what we were dealt here. Um, I'd be lying if I said it probably wasn't the first time. Probably was the first time I've arrived at a kart track before midnight, with the race the next day, and I still got about 3 hours of sleep. I just had a lot of nervous energy going. I knew there was a potential weather threat, and at the end of the day, once we put the first class on track, I knew we had the best team for it, and I think it went overall incredible. Racing was incredible, and I loved having you guys finally on board with it.
Yeah, it was cool for us to be there here. Let's start with the weather thing first and foremost. Of course, we had some other unexpected guests that joined the racetrack here midway through the stream, and this was during a little bit of a rain and lightning delay that we had, of course, early in the weekend. Now, Alec, this is something that I think is good to kind of bring to light about a standard policy that just about every other race series and event and really outdoor sporting events adhere to. And that's kind of the lightning policy. When lightning strikes within a certain mile range of the racetrack, you have normally a clock, whether it's sometimes 10, 15, 30 minutes. In this case, with the Star Series, was 30 minutes. Talk to us kind of your whole process of going through Saturday afternoon, because I'm sure that's a place nobody really envies, because everyone's wanting to race or they're wanting to go home, and you're trying to get the race again because they all pay to be there. But, the weather did not make it easy for you Saturday.
No, obviously we wanted to try to get as much as we could in, and with our schedule wanting to get people out there on Sundays. I mean, as the series grows, you got people with flights, you got workers with flights. So we really wanted to get as much as we could on Saturday to keep that end point on Sunday around 3:30 or whatnot. But as you said, it goes 30 minutes from lightning delay to lightning delay, and that's a rough estimate, but we got one more in after the first lightning, and then more rolled in. We just kind of sat on it. The funny thing is the storm cell that was coming after we got the one in and then it started the lightning again, the one that was coming was going to make all those other ones look like small storms. So we ended up just making the call and adjusting the schedule, which I think went overall pretty fluent. I mean, we only ended, I think, 30 minutes later than we were scheduled to on Sunday. But it was just funny. We got back to the hotel, got some food for the whole team, and we opened the blinds in the conference room and it's just sunny out. I'm like, oh, this is great. But at the end of the day, I mean, everybody shows up at 8 a.m., at probably 6 a.m. for most of the drivers and tuners, and nobody wanted to be there till 7. So I think we ultimately made the right call. Didn't really have any complaints. Little people poking fun on the Discord, but they all came up to talk to us, and they're like, yeah, we were totally kidding. That was definitely the right call.
Well, I wanted to ask you, your just thoughts, just raw thoughts through your head. We had that infamous shifter master start that we caught on camera here. I hope you know what I'm talking about here. Sunday afternoon. We'll go ahead and play it right here. Emery's on the mic.
One in the lake. Oh my, that was
way
terrible.
deep.
He is deep
Way
in the lake
deep.
there, but unfortunate for that driver. He is going super.
And again, the start. So not everyone knows this, right? But if you watch closely on the starts, you'll see Alec. He's walking through on all the shifter grids to make sure they're all good. Goes to the back of the grid, sees that no one's stalled, sees that we're good to go. And then as soon as you walk off to the side of the racetrack, you see the start go. You see a guy from the back trying to make his way forward, hits the cone, nearly hits also. I'll try and pause it at the right time. Nearly hits Stars official cameraman and photographer and videographer Sean Burkle. Look at Sean's ankle breaking skills right here. I mean, he is just laying it on him, getting out of the way. I don't know how big Sean misses it. Look at that right there. He's still getting the shot. That's the craziest. His hands are down here looking and getting the camera angle. and
one in the lake.
And he filmed the end of it, and we're going to post the clip here right after the show. The guy gets out of the cart. His name was Joe Foster, and he took a bow as soon as he got out when he went over to Sean. But, Alec, your first thoughts when you see a guy go right on through the cone on the side and then into the deep in the pond?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for one, I was happy Sean didn't get hit. I actually thought he actually went the wrong way. If you're looking at the video, he kind of jab stepped toward the cart at first, but no one really ever gets put in that position. I'm also shocked that cone does that much to the just veer left, but I went up to him afterwards and after the driver and asked him if he's all good, and he's like, yeah, just super embarrassed. I'm like, I wouldn't be too embarrassed, man. We put about 10 in the pond so far, so that was the deepest one by far, though. That thing was completely saturated.
Speaking of the grid here, the grid also had a really cool clip that we had
When
over
these
the
guys
weekend.
start
We
to
caught
work together, you
a
can
little
see
bit
that.
of the tuner dance going on here as they're coming on by the start finish line. You can see right there, that's Lucas Palacios' dad. That's Robbie Bajoso, who's the team owner for Checkered Motorsports, talking to both of their drivers and doing the whole dance as they're all coming on by. And Alec, I mean, when you're on the racetrack and you're a race director and you see this go down, do you chuckle a little bit? Because we definitely like to laugh at it in the booth.
Oh, absolutely. I love it though. I mean, a lot of series honestly don't even allow coaching, but I'm all for it. I think it shows some pretty good passion, and I mean, I think it ultimately helps the drivers, especially when you're talking about mini and micro. I mean, I like to see it, and yeah, it definitely makes you laugh a little bit.
It was goofy for sure. Aaron, you were tuning. Did you find yourself doing hand signals over there?
Oh, 100%. I was over, and I'd get right up next to the cones on the far side so your cameras wouldn't catch me. And I'd be telling Austin, go, go. And I'd be like floating your hands down or push the guy in front of you. I was doing it the whole weekend because he has this terrible habit of looking behind him like every corner, and then I'll go and miss the next corner.
As they all do.
Miss the next corner. Yeah. And so I was trying to give him signals to. No, I don't think he does, but it makes me feel better as a tuner. And so I was trying to keep him from doing that by telling him where he was. He ran the race as well anyways. I mean, he did a great job out there. But I was trying to just do anything I could to stop him from looking backwards every other corner.
Alec, it was you and your dad when you guys were racing back when you were driving. Did your dad ever try to do any signals like that to you when you were coming up?
Well, ironically, that's kind of what I was referring to. Is I mean, we weren't allowed to at MRP much, so
okay.
we would get shut down if we tried to do it. But if it was allowed, Dave Coates would have been all over it. He might have been standing all the way up on the wall or on the track.
he would have found his spot for sure. Caleb, you've done tuning gigs alongside your announcing and driving. Have you been guilty of the signs on the side of the fence too?
Absolutely not. No, you'll not catch me with my shirt over my head, spinning it, trying to get those indication to pass somebody. I usually just stare at the timesheet and watch the guy.
I think as a whole, I mean, it seems like everyone was really happy with how both weekends went, but especially on your group, like you said, Alec, you said you didn't get a whole lot of sleep. Did you come out of the weekend on Sunday feeling good? Because obviously you can't make all 200 people happy. There's going to be guys upset, whether it's really not even directed at you or not, because not everyone can come away with a trophy. But do you feel pretty happy with how the weekend went? Did you come away good?
Yeah, incredible. I mean, there's going to be growing pains, and we definitely had those internally. But at the end of the day, we made those right. And I think overall, I mean, my motto always is when I'm talking to somebody that's upset, make sure they're leaving the conversation in a better headspace than what they came into it. And I think we overall achieved that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's agree to disagree. They're coming to you because they're upset about something, so they're usually not going to like what you have to tell. They have to tell you, but as long as they walk away feeling a little better about the conversation in the series, that's where we got to go with it.